Hello everybody, this is me, the Hub Critic, back in this time. I was about to say Hub Podcast, but this is the Hub Critic back in this time. And I'm sorry about the delay. I previously tried to get this video up last week, but it was actually kind of late, just like this, when I uploaded it in the night time. And unfortunately, what happened was, recorded the video, was like, bang, here we go, 10 minutes long, and realised I had put it on the line-in device instead of on microphone, so that was the issue there. Anyway, getting to this episode, hopefully we don't have any of those same technical issues. You'll find out anyway, and just report if I do. But anyway, let's get into this episode, as we are talking about, well, a load of games we had currently. I'm just going to delve right into our schedule and our last couple of games, just to see how we were doing over the last week. You will notice I will not be covering all the games, because, well, hell no, I can't go back as far as what I haven't covered in the last couple of episodes, as I haven't really done these on a weekly basis like I hope so. My last one was over a month ago, basically, or we're just going to talk about this week mainly. So going back to, I'm going to go back to last Friday, we'll just say, Brooklyn Nets, a very devastating loss we took against the likes of the Brooklyn Nets. A very sad loss in my opinion, as it finished off in overtime. As you know, our last match against the Brooklyn Nets, we did take another devastating loss, where they won in a game winner, in a three-pointer, about 1 second to go. It was pretty amazing, and then the clock ended. It was an amazing buzzer beater, but unfortunately we were on the losing end of it. Very, very sad in my opinion, just in case, for our team, and I just really didn't like that. Well, obviously I don't like it, because obviously, naturally, as a Never Know supporter, I was kind of pissed off anyway, but anyway, you gotta take it as it goes, roll with the thunder. Anyways, we lost that in overtime. Emmanuel Mudiay with 25.7 assists. Nikola Jokic once again rocking out the rebounds. 12 rebounds, guys. What a guy. This guy's getting double-doubles left and right. And again, on the following week, Sunday, March 6th, we received a win against the Dallas Mavericks, 116-114 in overtime. Another overtime match. It was a good way to start off my week, because I saw this in replay on Monday morning, and I was very happy, because it refreshed me for the week with the overtime win. Very excited about that win. Kenneth Faried, what a monster. 25 points, 20 rebounds. You should definitely go check out the replay for that game, or any of the highlights like I usually do for those midweek games where I can't unfortunately watch the actual game. This guy was a monster in the game. 25 points, 20 rebounds. Emmanuel Mudiay with 8 assists, but still, man, 20 points, 20 rebounds. These are superstar stats. I recently saw a little bit of a stat sheet of Kenneth Faried, and this guy was a monster in it. I mean, you're looking at a lot. This guy had gotten 10 double-doubles, a very high field goal percentage, over 60%, and just really balling it in the last 12 games. Definitely powering on in these, hopefully, which will continue on in the next 18 or so games of the rest of the season. And, well, inevitably not probably making the playoffs, but let's just play these last 18 games, in my opinion, like they're playoffs, like they're do or die, and we've got to win these games. I know a lot of teams have that same approach, just because, well, of course, they're battling to get into the playoffs. Let's just play them like they are the playoffs. That's my opinion. We just want to play them balling, amazing. Yeah, just like these last couple of games, this squad is being cut down a little bit. I mean, talking about squad for a second, because definitely some of it's been punched away a bit. Our roster has been depleted just a bit. We've got, I mean, Wilson Chandler obviously out for the full season. I believe he may be back soon. I'm not quite sure, but we got a bit of rotation in the roster. I mean, Darrell Arthur, DJ Augustine is guard. He's taking up a good spot. Will Barton, Wilson Chandler, again, I don't know what's happening with him. Kenneth Faried, the monster. Danilo Gallinari is out, so we can't really include him on the list. Gary Harris, Nikola Jokic, Joffrey Laverne, Mike Miller, JJ Hickson was waived, I believe, or traded, I'm not sure. I think he was waived. Emmanuel Mudiay, Jameer Nelson, Yusuf Nurkic, Jakar Sampson from the Philadelphia 76ers, a guard forward, and Axel Payne, a guard forward as well. Not so sure on Axel Payne, obviously he's taking a 10-day lease, as we took on, you know, the like of Ryan Fitzpatrick, and ironically he was on the Brooklyn Nets, where we came up unfortunately on the losing side on that one. I'm never quite sure on these 10-day contracts, especially with my high hopes going in. If you heard my last recap where I talked about, Ryan Fitzpatrick, or whatever his name was, Sean Fitzpatrick, guys, really exciting. I mean, this guy, one of the top scoring player in that D League, and then bringing him in, and then just having 20-day, I believe we reimbursed his contract for another 10 days and then just got rid of him, and he went to the Brooklyn Nets, and I think they are keeping him. But anyway, the idea of just getting a D-League player like this and putting him in for a 10-day contract, I do understand what they're doing it for, mainly the reason of, well, we want to do this because, firstly, we want to keep our money low, we want to keep the budget high, keep our salary cap. Anyways, so we want to keep that on the high, bringing in all these cheap players and waving them in and whenever and waving them off. It gives us the idea to free up some space on the roster and making ways for some big acquisitions and whatsoever, and other trades as well, because when you're not focusing on all the other players you're bringing in, you can focus on trades and the really important decisions you have to make in the front office. So from that perspective, from that standpoint, it does make a little bit of logistical sense. And of course we have Mike Malone as a manager who hasn't really been in the position where haven't gotten to a important position like the playoffs or that sort of area. He's played for the Sacramento Kings, so of course, being the manager for that team, this is their second team by the way, that was his first. It's not a guy like George Karl who's going to focus on the future as much as, well, he is focusing on the future, of course, Michael Malone, but he's definitely focusing more on the rebuilding side to it. So that sort of standpoint in my mind kind of fits in with his sort of his philosophy and whatever. But I do believe that it's something we have to work on just a little bit. But Axel Toupane, I guess he's got the French connection with Geoffrey Laverne, which can only really mean good things, in my opinion, for the likes of him or whatever. But again, kind of weird at the same time, kind of cool. We'll see what's gonna go on here. I might just go in and look at the Facebook in a sec, as we go. But again, our third win was our second win in a row going into this homestand was another home game. New York Knicks, Tuesday, March 8th. And I must say, a really fun game as we got Kenneth Faried 24 points, DJ Augustine 6 assists, Kenneth Faried 10 rebounds. A good feel-good game in one way, especially the like of having, a crazy fact here, but the likes of Carmelo Anthony not getting a single win in a home game against the Denver Nuggets since leaving that team 10 years ago. It's crazy. I mean, Danilo Gallinari's got a few games over in New York and got a few wins there after he went from New York. But Carmelo Anthony going from Denver Nuggets to New York, on the other hand, didn't get any home wins here. So that's pretty crazy in my opinion. I do have one thing to check, and that's of course the Denver Nuggets. As I need to check one thing, but we'll go through the rest of the games, and then of course talk about some other stuff that happened. And of course, one other thing is another win, our third win in a row, leading up to tonight's match, which is against the Washington Wizards. Thursday, March 10th, we won against Phoenix Suns. A really nice, good win game. DJ Augustine with 6 assists again. Emmanuel Moody with 30 points, and Nikola Jokic with 10 rebounds, the team leaders of the night. 116-98. I predicted a slightly smaller win on the podcast, which you go check out, episode 12 or 11, I believe, which is out now on the channel. But we still got the win, nevertheless. 18-point win, very good, against the struggling Phoenix Suns at home. A very predicted win, and again, that gives us to our 3-game winning streak, which ties our winning streak record for the season. Hopefully, a 4th win will be a new record for the team and will be a really good win against the Washington Wizards, a strong team, as we will see going up against them tonight. Other cool things that have happened, apart from Danilo Gallinari getting injured, which is really, really annoying. But we're talking about the likes of DJ Augustine coming in and having a great impact on our team. I mean, this guy from the Oklahoma City Thunder that we captured in the trade deadline wasn't expecting much. Kind of underused over there, and he did make a big buzz when he came over here, guys. I mean, very enjoyable to see him come over, and very exciting at the same time. I just really, really enjoy his arrival on the team, and also the likes of Axel Payne, another guy we brought in. But we're just going to talk about DJ Augustine in the moment, because this guy can really ball, especially in the late moments. We took him in to replace Jameer Nelson, a bit younger in my opinion. Well, obviously not in my opinion, he's a bit younger, and a bit better in my opinion. Fresh face on the team never helps to warm up a team, and obviously a rookie team like us, it's kind of like a breath of fresh air. I mean, the whole idea of having Jameer Nelson there, I guess to do some stuff, and to be a mentor. We have another mentor, and we have Gallinari playing a leadership role, as well as Kenneth Reed. So it's not like the biggest deal ever. And I've heard different, spots about what he is, but anyway, this big full wins that we got, I'm just gonna take out some of the top comments there, because we'll see how we did. In general, DJ is a great backing coach. Him and Durant teamed like crazy. He wasn't only used in because it's the better team in commas. Only so he had to make the Nuggets, who still had to find a superstar. He could very well be used here. Another one comes. This dude really needs to get signed for a few years. He was underutilized in Thunder, and now we get to see how good he actually is, and get rid of Nelson, or he's like 70s and retire. Plus, we need to get not have grandpas on it. So the likes of getting rid of Jameer Nelson, which I believe we've done, or else he's injured. I'm not sure what the hell happened with Jameer Nelson. He's possibly gone. Yes, I think he's gone. So Jameer Nelson. Oh no, he's still here. Sorry, me crazily saying that. I don't know. I think by the end of the year we could possibly be getting rid of Jameer Nelson, just for the fact of Mike Malone's looking at the future, and the idea that at the end of the year we're going to have a pretty fresh squad going into next year as well. I mean, that sounds crazy, because this year with the new mantra, it's a new day, we're still could even be updating that mantra a bit more, and I'm saying it's a new day if we have a very new day next next season, meaning the 2016-2017 season. So I don't know, that'd be a clever move for me personally, to get rid of Jameer Nelson. Even actually, yeah, I think that'd be enough, because we have Shakara Sampson, we have others brought in as well. So it's like, are you really going to go that far and bring in more and more and more until you overflow the team? Or are you going to work with what you got and bring in some fresh strategy, which I think will be clever as well? So I don't know. Waving off players may seem like you're making good strides in one direction, but it could also just be a waste of time and pointless. So personally, it's a give and take, and I don't know if they're going to prepare to give as much as possible. Maybe they will receive something great in return. Looking at Kenneth Reed, I guess he's been a pretty star player in the last 7 games. 6 double-doubles, 19 points per game, 11 rebounds per game, 1.1 assists per game, and 66% field goal. Demerson needs to grab an impact player on the draft, an FA or solid trade, and will be on our way back up. Personally, I can't wait for the draft, because I don't know what's going to happen, but that's a long way to wait away for that draft. So we'll see, how we get there, and the journey is the most important thing, of course. Looking ahead, our next game is Wizards versus Nuggets. Let's look at some of the comments here, and just to see how it goes. This is the second night of a back-to-back for the Wizards, so if we would just do what we've been doing lately, we should get this win, and that would be wonders for our playoff push. Not trying to push the win, obviously, but I do have to say that we are 1 up in the series, so it's not a biggest ask in the world to see if we can try to get the win here and make it, 2-0 and sweep that series. I guess the Wizards, they haven't been good this year, but they still aren't a team to underestimate. Still a playoff team that has good can turn pace in a matter of seconds, especially with John Wall and Bradley Beal. I expect a low-scoring, hard-fought game, 93-90 Nuggets. Oh yay, and welcome back J.J. Hickson. He plays for the Wizards, so we're taking a lot of former team members. Yeah, so I don't know if this is going to be the most hot, long-scoring game ever, but my final predictions on this game, I'm going to see Washington Wizards, which hopefully I'll be doing a review of pretty soon in my next recap, probably, most likely. Again, I don't know. I'm going to have to go with Nuggets pulling away with the win, because of, I guess there's a few injuries going on, a little bit of confusion in Washington Wizards. Usually that's where my stance is taken, just because if I hear something like that, I might just go and edge for my home team, Denver Nuggets. Obviously it's a home game for us, so we do have that advantage, and I don't know, I won't be too disappointed because we're already 1 up in the series, so I'll be like 1-1. I won't be too disappointed. But again, we do need a win like this, because Utah Jazz are at 30 wins, we're at 27, so it's kind of inching in close enough. So a good couple of wins and run will definitely help us in the case against that 9th-seeded Utah Jazz, the 8th-seeded Dallas Mavericks, and the 7th-seeded Houston Rockets were all very, very close. And also, one note that Dallas Mavericks did receive a loss tonight. I think Utah Jazz are trying to get back on their feet after a couple of losses. So this is our chance. If we can get ahead of Utah Jazz, we have the position to also get ahead of Dallas Mavericks. So it's a very big thing there. I mean, I know I'm kind of talking about how we're definitely not going to play the playoffs, but it's not completely out of the question if those teams both go downhill, if you know what I mean. It's definitely a thing where Lightning does have to strike twice, and those teams do have to get stricken quite a bit, because if we make that gap and get between those two teams and get in front of those teams, hey presto, we're in 8th seed, and we're in the playoffs. So that's crazy in my opinion, that there's really two teams we have to really think about, and out of push 3 teams being Dallas Mavericks and Utah Jazz, and also a little bit to extent Houston Rockets, which are all 7th, 8th, and 9th. Let's look at the win. I don't know if I can really predict a score. Just going to throw one out there and say 95-93 we win. 95-93. We'll just say that. I mean, that's my prediction. Anyway, guys, it's been a pretty good weeks, as I've seen since I've done the last one. Just to give him a bit of confidence and to spur him forward, I'm going to say DJ Augustine. He's a really good game so far. I think pretty high scoring games as well. So I'm going to give him the player of my week on the daily recap. I will see you next time. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment below, favorite for more, and also support me. Discuss anyway in the comments below, whatever you want to say, and anything you want to ask me as well. Make sure to cool, stay classy, stay fresh, stay suave, and I'll see you on the flip side. Bye guys, see you next time.